subset with drip irrigation.
Ah.
Not only to conserve about 50% water, but energy and other things, and also the ability to play anytime you wish while the water is running.
That's a great idea.
But it's a tough idea to sell.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things.
Money, it's additive, yeah. The alternatives cost more, but desert landscape costs more.
I think it's a matter of education, isn't it?
It's a matter of education.
Email can definitely do that for you. So, Doctor?
Oh, yeah.
We're skipping around.
Oh, skipping. Okay. I'm a physician. My specialty is biological age reversal. And I'm here to see how email marketing can, if possible at all, to target the kind of market that I need to market to.
Anybody here not want to get old? Yeah, a couple of us. Let me say that again. Anybody here, even if you're old, you would like to literally be biologically younger?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not a mythical Ponce de Leon thing. It's we're very blessed. He's one of our clients, and we've just started working with Dr. Shannon. Unbelievable information, and all scientifically based and proven. So, yeah, if you're interested in feeling and looking younger, I just started today, so you probably won't notice any changes yet, but I do feel a little more pep in my step. Anyway, we want to thank SCORE. SCORE is the people that bring us to this. My name is Jeff Harrison. My business partner back is Amy Anderson. And here's Andrew. And we are blessed to be able to facilitate what we call gap education. And what that basically means is when you're a SCORE volunteer, which is an incredible group of people to give you information that to help you run and build your business from the ground up, literally for, hey, how do I write a business plan? How do I get, funding, those type of things. And it's all funded really by our tax dollars. So when you go in, Annie, and you need help on something, it's all free. And there's no catch. It's like it's free for as long as you want to go and go and go. And they're about, Jeff, how many are there in our office here?
We have around 30.
Around 30. And these are people who have already walked the path that you're about ready to embark on. So there's nothing better than a mentor. If you always point to somebody and said, he was my mentor or she was my mentor, and she helped me get there. So mentoring, if there's, besides email marketing, it is one of the most important tools you can have. They're in Palm Desert at 43100 Cook Street, and they're there 5 days a week from 9 to roughly noon. And then we have several. If you just raise your hand, guys, all the volunteers that are here. There we go. Okay, and they'll be here for you afterwards. So if you have questions or you say, hey, I didn't know that. I didn't know what SCORE did. They'll help you out with that. And then we also want to thank all the people from La Quinta Chamber of Commerce for having us. Thank you. Thank you. And we have a new member.
Well, I'm a new membership manager. So Andy and I are in area 150%. So I'm really glad to be on board.
Cool. So Andrew, just a second and tell us a little bit about your business and who you are.
Hey everyone, Andrew McCauley from Autopilot Your Business. As the name suggests, Autopilot, we do a lot of automation for your business. So if you are looking to automate a lot of the marketing, especially email marketing we talk about today, that is what we concentrate on.
Yeah.
Do it for you.
That's it. We also want to welcome all the people that are here. Thank you for joining us online. We're streaming this every Tuesday. We stream this. So if you can't make it, you don't want to drive in from Palm Springs or Sky Valley or wherever you're at, you can catch us every Tuesday here. So I want to thank those people for joining us. Also, Amy is on the computer. So if you have questions, please email those in, or you can chat those in, and she'll ask those questions for you, and we'll see if we can get your response. So again, thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to talk about email marketing. Now, how many of you right now are using email marketing as your main source of getting new business? Okay, how's that working for you?
It's working great.
Absolutely. How about those people that say, gosh, I'm here because I really want to know what email marketing will do for my business? Yeah, you're in the right place. So what we're going to talk about today is how to maximize your efforts and profits. Now, we talked to some, tell me, it's Kippy, because we had a client yesterday we're talking to, and she was described as cheeky, and I didn't want to say her name was cheeky. So anyway, I hope she's watching. Anyway, so there are many times when you're running your business where you get to the point where you feel like, I know I need to do more, but there are no more physical hours in the day. There's no more gas in the tank. Have you ever felt that way? I felt that way about 5:45 this morning. So, and then I took my supplements. No. Anyway, so it's your efforts and profits. So we're going to start right off, and I want to ask you a question. I want you to list 5 ways you could generate revenue if you had a list of just 500 names and email addresses, and you have a form there. So if you just take a second, I want you to write this down. By the way, if you've ever joined us for an email presentation, this is different than you've ever experienced. This was going to take you right to the ground level. So that piece of paper you have, when you fill this out and you work this exercise, it may become the most valuable piece of paper besides your birth certificates you've ever owned. So when you're running for presidency, you can prove where you're from. So I want you to write down, and you might put this on the back, list 5 ways you could generate revenue from using your email list if you just have 5 names. Okay? What's that? You can partner up this because this is sometimes, it's early, that's stress in the brain. So why don't we say, hey, 3, 3, 3, 3, and 2 or 3 here. That would be great. Okay. So maybe if you want to partner up and kind of get an idea, if you 3 will partner up. Okay. So Wendy, welcome. You guys want to partner up here and just kind of go through. She'll be back. Okay. So partner up.
So do I need to fill this in since I already have my info?
It's just the fact that you came to this event. That would be great. So every time. That's great.
Everything?
No,
I clicked on the add sign.
You can go on.
Send out emails to.
So 5 ways, we're writing this down, 5 ways you could generate revenue from a list of just 500 names and email addresses.
Send out, did you know, top 10 list.
Write those down, Brad, write those down.
And then I'll give them their attention and then
He's a weird one, right? He's a weird.
5 ways.
She's with the chamber.
Oh.
Ask her.
But I jumped in there.
And that probably has to come.
Which is-
Valuable to anybody.
Which is this, these articles, top 10 list, examples, back to, and then 50, Okay, 5 different ways that you can generate revenue from a list of 500 names.
Okay, so let's kind of come together and let's see if we have, and this is one of the things that Andrew, as we go with each group, kind of tell us what you came up with, and Andrew's going to write on the board. So if you don't have it, you thought, geez, I didn't think of that, he'll put it on the board, and then we'll kind of dive a little deeper in that. Okay? You want to start us off?
Yeah. Holiday specials.
Holiday specials. Okay.
Just in case.
What else?
Another one, referral.
Referral program. Okay.
How about events that you're making?
How about inviting them to an event?
A discount for enrolling online rather than at the door.
Discount for enrolling online rather than at the door. By the way, because you're all enrolled online, this is no charge, by the way. You know that gate out there? We're going to leave it open. You can go home afterwards. Okay. Next. Yes.
How about promoting one of your listings if you're a realtor?
Promoting a listing if you're a realtor. I like that.
Promoting a product.
Promoting a product. Stephen, what do you think?
Well, we had events.
Events?
So we were told it's a microphone.
How about a workshop, but you charge for something there?
A paid event? A paid workshop?
Yes.
Or you mean a workshop and then you pay for products once you're there, an opportunity?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, you can do that, but let's just put up their event/paid.
Events, yeah.
Paid, okay, good.
How about to promote your social media?
How about to promote your social media?
Could you like wish someone happy birthday and do some kind of birthday thing?
Absolutely. I think you guys had it written down. We just didn't say it. Yep. So that's good.
30-day trial.
30-day trials.
Birthday gift or something like that?
Birthdays?
Is it a birthday gift?
No, birthday card, she said.
Well, my reason for it was, if you get his birthday wishes, you kind of think kindly of the people that sent it to you, so you might want to go into the restaurant or go, whatever. You may kind of remind you of the dentist that you happy birthday, oh, I gotta get my teeth laid.
That's it.
What was the next one after that?
Well, they know who I am.
There was another one after that.
With a discount to existing clients to try to
Mm,
business.
little engagements,
Discounts?
discounts. Okay. Anybody else?
Well, how about, I just use it example of the dentist, a reminder, hey, it's just 6 months, you gotta
Reminder,
remind
very
I like that. Reminders. What do you think over here? How about this?
How-tos.
You must have remembered
And then
from the last
ask-
time. Good.
And then ask for leads.
There you go. Content or ask for leads. Okay. So content. Now, anyone else? Any other ideas?
Charity, promoting special charities that you're involved in.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Excuse to get done.
I like that. Now, Andrew, how would you rate those as far as if I'm opening in emails and you got holiday special referral programs event, and that was really the bulk of what you would get. How anxious are you to get information from that service or from that company?
Well, it's going to depend on a couple of things. One is going to be the headline. What is it about? Is it all about the company or is it all about me? So if there was, a holiday special and you're saying, our holiday special is so awesome, it makes us look really cool, I'm going to say, yeah. But if the holiday special was, hey, this is about me, here's a holiday special for you to make you feel really good over the holidays, there's a lot more chance of me opening it than it is if it's about the company itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's going to depend on how you format and frame that particular email.
So if you personalize it, you mean, like with a name, like?
No, it doesn't necessarily have to be a name because most people now know that when it says Dear Mary, you know that they didn't really personally like Mary because it's a system. But as long as the content looks like it's going to be about me rather than, or benefit me rather than features of what it is that they're offering, it's going to make me feel like, this is for me, this is what I want it to be. And the way you achieve that is segmentation, which I think we'll talk about another time, but just make sure that the right message is for the right person. Don't send me an email about women's clothes specials on holiday because
Not
I
relevant.
only wear them on weekends.
When you send emails out, if you send out things only about you and discounts and event, that kind of stuff, it's only about you or your company, it becomes white noise. We get approximately 2,000 advertisements, whether it's a billboard or radio ad, TV, whatever it is, a day. Imagine how little you could get done, Jennifer, if that was all you focused on was responding to those. So we're great at what we call deletion creatures. We delete the stuff that doesn't make sense to us. We were doing a little live Periscope. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but we can talk about that later, out in the parking lot. And I have about 4,000 emails in 2 different accounts, almost 9,000 emails, if you will. And what I've done is I haven't deleted them, but I've deleted them metaphorically because I'm not opening them. Because I know when they send it to me, Staples, I hope they're listening, they only send me stuff that's beneficial for them because I buy. There's another company called JV Zoo. Constantly they're selling. They're nothing really to benefit me. So when you're crafting that email, I want you to step back for a second and say, is this about me or is this solving a potential problem my ideal customer has? Real estate, here's just an example. And again, this is off the cuff. If I'm sending emails to people that maybe have come to my open house, I might want to help them save time. The 5 best things that you can do to save time and be more effective when you're going through an open house, right? Or if you're getting listings, the 3 things you need to know before you list your house with a realtor to maximize the selling price. Now, if you were about ready to sell your house, would that entertain you?
Yes.
You bet. But it's not like, hey, this is why you need to hire me because I'm the best realtor and I really dress nice. I don't care. Neither do your clients. What's that?
Sell my
Just sell the
house.
house, right? So when you're talking about this, here's the first thing, 500 names, that's probably twice as many as you need to be very, very effective in the marketplace. Because here's the thing, statistics show for every name you have, they also have a resource of 250 names in their email box. Some are higher, some are lower. So when you go to that second referral program, treat it as gold. Because if I keep sending stuff to Jeff, and that is so valuable for him as an ideal client, do you think he has other ideal clients that would benefit my business or your business in his Rolodex or in his email box? You bet they would. And so if it's something that's so valuable that you did not know, that now it's like, oh, many people I did not know, because it's valuable enough now you share that, okay? So be very aware of that. So those are just some ideas you can do. And the biggest takeaway is, are you solving a problem? Are you putting a Band-Aid on that wound and giving them a solution? It's not about you, but it's called a Trojan horse. What's a Trojan horse, Gideon?
It's a wooden horse that contains people inside. In the computer world, it's similar to it. It appears different than what it actually is. Contains some, usually viruses and things like that. So bad.
Yeah, in this case, it's not a virus, but there is it's like a piñata, right? We want to get past the outside because there's special stuff on the inside. So as an example, if I did that, I would want to, I don't want to say disguise, but also say, you know what, now every time Jeff sends me something or Gideon sends me something, I want to look at it. And it might say, hey, you know, I didn't have a chance to give you everything, but if you'd like to know more, click here, right? That could be your call to action. That takes you to the website where maybe they can sign up for the weekly, or they can sign up for an upcoming event or things like that, where you go deeper about that. Water conservation in the desert during a drought. Here's the 3 things you can do if you're a large facility to cut your water costs in half and recoup your investment in 3 years or less. See, now if Jeff is running a large organization where they pump water on the ground all day long, that probably would get his attention. And he might say, you know, this is good information, not coming from me, from Gideon, who's an expert. I'm going to send this up the channel and see if I can get somebody to say, hey, let's check that out. Let's call Gideon. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's just kind of take this down to a very, very basic level. Let's say it's a local business owner. How many are familiar with the dry cleaners right over here in the shopping center? Okay. How many of you have used that I've used it tons for almost 20 years now. Okay. Here's the sad part, and I don't mean this negatively, just an awareness. He doesn't know me by my email address. I've never received any information from him. And guess what? Because the way clothes are purchased and bought nowadays, or excuse me, made nowadays, I don't have to do so much dry cleaning. But there are those opportunities. Let's say I go someplace and, you know, for some of you who know me for a while, I've lost about 30 pounds. I'm not looking for them back. But what would I need? How about alterations, right? How about if all of a sudden I could say, well, these pants are basically new, but I need to have them taken in. What if one of those things is, hey, most people after the first year, what are they doing? What's the number one thing people do after the first of the year? Go on a diet. They make a resolution. And if they lose weight, what's the next thing they have to do? Buy new clothes. Guess what? If I bought a new pair of pants, let's say they're $40, but I can have them altered and keep those for $5, would that be a good email to send me? You bet. Okay. So where do you begin? Where do you begin when you first start in your business? The first thing is building a list. Now I want you to think every name in your email list has a dollar value on it, right? Wendy's, yours is going to be different than Rebecca's, right? Because of the commission base or the sale. So I want you to think about that. Every time you get a name in there, it is a potential dollar in your account. Treat it as such. Would you walk around and just throw $100 on the ground? Would you? No, I wouldn't either. I'd be down there picking them up. I'd follow you if you were throwing them out, okay? But the point is, I don't think sometimes we treat them that way. We say, hey, let's send out an email blast. We just shove it out there, and it starts to offend us because you know what? You're sending stuff they don't need. Again, I'm going to pick on Staples because there's a large company that if they just segmented the list, they would know I do not buy Bounty at Staples, but they send it to me all the time, right? How many of you shop at Staples? When you go to Staples, what kind of things are you going for?
Binders, typically.
Yeah, binders. So if they knew that, and there was ever an opportunity to buy binders, maybe there's an opportunity, you know, here's a 2-for-1 sale, something like that. They could send that to you and it would apply to you, right? You say you, Staples?
Typically binders and office supplies.
Yeah. So you'd want to, you would probably be more inclined that if, say, every 30 days you got one piece of email from them that was about those things, you probably wouldn't be white noise. But if they mail you every day, cleaning supplies, I don't buy cleaning supplies there. Okay. So let's talk about an ethical bribe. So here's our exercise number one. This is position number one. In your business, what would be an ethical bribe? Now let's define ethical bribe. This means that, you know what? I'm asking for your email and name, your email address and name, or just email. By the way, the more things you ask for, the percentage of respondents filling in the blanks goes down 50%. So if you ask for an email and name, it's a 50-50 chance. You increase that by 50% if you just ask for email. If you ask for email, phone number, company, phone number, you know, how many children you have, forget it. They're moving on. Okay, so keep it simple. It's just like if Annie and I first met and she doesn't want to know all about me. We're just introducing our first names, right? We'll find out if we even like one another. And then we move on. Same thing with you, Rebecca, when you're out in the field, right? You don't immediately go into this interrogation, right? So the same thing with the email. So the ethical bribe. So take just a minute and think, hey, what would be an ethical bribe? Let me just give you an example. Let's say, for instance, go back to our cleaner. What if on his counter, now not everybody, sometimes we have these virtual stores, right? But he has a physical store people walk into every day. What if he had on the counter, win a chance for 1 year of free dry cleaning? Just enter here, name and email address. Would you sign up?
Yes.
Would you sign up? Now, let's think about this. And you have to be, what if I spent $50 a month for that dry cleaning? But, okay, so that's $600 a year in retail costs. What do you think that actually costs him? If he gave you that and you were at $50 a month, then you'd probably put a cap on there, maximum $50 a month. So he knows, hey, worst case scenario, $600. How much would you, I mean, how much you typically spend in a month, would you say? $100. $100. So you're cutting his cost by half. What's the risk of you putting information in there? Nothing. I mean, you already go in there. You already like the guy, right? But now I know who you are. Now I can start communicating with you, building that relationship. So for $600 a year, what if I got 500 names out of the course of that in 30 or 40 days? Because could you run it all the time? What if I could say, hey, first of all, we're going to draw every month, and we're going to say, hey, nice. Okay, so who is she? Oh, okay. So anyway, so here's what happens. So let's say, for instance, you take it to the next level. You say, every month, I'm going to pull out a name out of that month. So you feel like, hey, you got a chance every month to win something. And I'm going to give you a $25 certificate to use at our place, right? It's not good anyplace else. But then everyone who wins that month will be put in a drawing at the end of the year for that grand prize of a year's worth of it, right? So now I get 12 times probably the value of this. And I'd say, hey, I only want you to enter once, right? So everybody coming in, would that help? So every month, now your chances of winning, if you're pulled, you have a 1 in 12 chance of winning a free year's worth of dry cleaning. Is that a good investment for this dry cleaner? If he got 500 names he didn't have before, you bet. I want you to think of your email list. It could be like an ATM. When you didn't make money, just go in there and search your card. Just send out the right email. Because there's always a percentage of people who will say what? Yes, always. Not 100%. What if only 10% of the people up there said yes to his offer? Alteration's $5. And it cost him $1 to do the alteration, but he made $4 profit. How many is 10% of 500? 50. So he had 50 people times 4. 50 people times 4 is how much? For how much did it cost him to send the email, Gideon?
I wasn't paying attention, but It's not, it's always zero.
It's zero. It costs you nothing, right? Yeah, it's zero. Okay. So that's how you can set that up. So I want you to take a few minutes again. Partner up. What would you do in your business to create an ethical bribe? In other words, something they would exchange their name and/or email address for, so you could build your list that would be valuable to them. Does that make sense? Ready, go. Okay. Does that make sense? What's the ethical bribe?
Anybody got one?
For you, easy. It's that what do you call it? The actual yeah, the physical test that you do that you say is free. But if I didn't know about it, it has a tremendous value, right? Free scan that, so you can do something like that. No, go ahead. Yeah, we'll write it down.
6 months, 3 years.
I don't know, it's a real, what would I do? Yeah.
What would you do something like that? Or would you like to potentially do a lot of
List your
would you like them to do that?
I work with a lot of filters. Free locker keys.
Or-
Yeah.
or-
Yeah.
or-
So that's what I was doing.
Oh, I like that.
Although sometimes people don't really trust them, they might rather have their own lock person.
You don't want those people's clients anyway. You want people every time you say hello to someone. Right?
I've run with some filters and we build that program together. So then when you hire me, they will pay the same term of all of the people who buy it or buy it every year. And then I'll give it to them like
So that was for, now they would do that in order to get what now?
They do it. Got some ideas?
Yesterday they got
What did you got? What ideas
Yeah,
you got?
sometimes I would do that, like,
Free tests, basically.
free,
I offer free tests to get the email.
Right. What's the value of the test for them? Like if they were coming and say, $300. Now, do you physically have to do that? Because think about this. So how do you do the test?
Then they give them the key, like,
What does it cost you? $260. If you want to give it to them free for an email address?
yeah.
How long can we sustain that?
I mean, a draw.
Oh, okay, so it's a draw. Oh, okay, so it's a prize. So you win, so they win one person.
Yeah.
Rather than everyone was going to
It's a
win.
major
Gotcha,
email,
yes.
and then I'll draw.
Got it.
At the end one.
Okay, good, yes. Okay, good. I was thought you meant you give one to every person signs up for email. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Now, with the test, they test themselves. Is that right? They get
It's a urine test for this one.
Yep.
And they mail it out to mailer, and then mail it to the lab.
And they're going to mail it to the lab. Okay.
Since it's not hybrid for it, prepaid.
Who pays for them? And they just put it in there and send it off. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good.
And then one is a free test at my office. And find out how old you are,
Right. Yep.
that's the view.
Right. Yeah. What about anything like? Is there anything that you could digitally even give them like a free thing that you need to do? Like, something that's digitally and automatically given to them, so you don't have to worry about anything. So think about this. If I come to a website and I want to get some more information from this, and you have a one-page report that might say these 3 things that you need to know in order to stay up. And I'm like, I just want to know what they are. I give my email address and automatically deliver it to me in my email box and get it to you. You don't have to actually send the key out physically because that's when it really becomes automated. So you're building that resource without you having to physically draw a video into the file, hit the steps, I'm sure you get something to do it, but still there's some effort on your part to do that to them. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, it's a good idea. It can be certainly a very valuable idea. It's just another idea of how else can you automate it so you don't do any of this stuff.
Download my book.
Right. Have you got a digital version of that book?
How are you?
Yeah, you can do that. Right. So let people get in the book and you're reading it, or if it's not, how big is the book? How many pages? So that, what's not working, a lot of people have ebooks on their computer, they don't read them. So it could work, but that's a lot of reading for a lot of people. Could you get some key points from that book, turn into a one-page, nice diagrammatic infographic that says the 3 reasons why you're dying, or whatever it is, something that's going to say, wow, I don't want to die young. Or what's the pain point that you have? And give it to them in a real quick download. So that
Outline.
yeah. Have you got that book as a physical product as well? Do you have a physical book as well? You have physically printed that book? Did you self-publish that? Yeah. So I mean, that could even be something that you can sell this as well. And another thing that I see what I really like is that you buy my book, I'll give you my book for free, all you have to do is pay for shipping and handling. I'll send you my book. And you just say pay for shipping and handling. Right? So and that's the next level. But that's just an idea of what you can do. That's I think you've got a lot of opportunities to do all sorts of fun and cool things that people want because you've got some great information. So how big is your list right now? How many people in your list? Do you have a list? Do you have a list right now? How many clients do you have? So you've got a list of 700, right? You've got all their details. Right, so if you needed to, you could bring every one of them if you have to today. You've got their details. So you've got a list of 700. That's a very valuable list. And they're all people that bought something from you?
Yeah.
And you're not doing any email marketing at all? Get on this for you, yeah. You can really get some good response. So stuff. This is very, if you've got a list like that, that's super valuable. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I know Jeff and Amy are helping you out with some stuff. So, but yeah, that's really valuable. You've got a lot of ability to connect with those people and give them something else, even if it's just a book. I mean, imagine if you 700 people and you get 10% of those people who want to buy your book. You know, not that that's a lot of money, but it's just reconnecting with those people. You know what I mean?
Okay. Do we get some great ideas? Okay. Hey, that was a fun exercise, wasn't it? Yeah, you guys look like you've got email muscle now. So let's go through some of this. So we're talking about an ethical bribe. Let's start over here. What would be your ethical bribes that you guys came up with for your business?
So we got free outline of the book.
Free outline of his book. Great. Now, and your book does what? Helps us understand aging?
The aging process.
Yeah, the aging process. By the way, aging is, did you know, is a disease? Right now, you're all diseased with getting older. Oh, I hate that. Unless you go see Dr. Chen. Okay? Sorry.
My ethical bribe, I think, for my business or for our business, the chamber, would be getting all my prospects together, putting them in an email, and inviting them to a mixer for free. Because it gets them there, they don't have to pay the $10 per prospective price, and they get to actually get a taste of what we do and see all of our happy faces.
Cool. Can I comment on that real quick?
Sure.
Because I've got the clicker.
Okay.
So here's the thing. What if I feel, I know this is going to be hard to believe, what if I feel uncomfortable in front of a group and meeting new people for the first time? What can you build in that, hey, instead of just inviting me, what about if you could build a list of, hey, these are the benefits of coming to a mixer? And you put those 5 top benefits or 7 top benefits of why you should be here and say, hey, and we know, you trust it, we know some people that come, This is their first time they're uncomfortable. They don't. Who likes walking in a room besides Stephen and no one and he knows no one?
No.
It's uncomfortable, right? So what if you said, hey, to do that, I'm going to be there greeting you and I'm going to introduce you to people as we get going. So we're going to immediately when you walk in. How cool is that? Would that make that email a little bit better?
It would be.
Write
We
that
can
down.
actually assign them to an ambassador to hand
Ambassador,
walk.
There we go. I didn't know
So-
those fancy words. Greeter, ambassador. Jeff, how about you? What'd you guys
We
come up
worked
with?
together on that one.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
it was a
team
teamwork.
effort.
Oh, I like that. The lean on. Gideon?
Would you like-
We got-
I have my assistant, ambassador.
I got it. I love it.
So we were thinking, well, for the images, for the art, we could offer, the bride could be a free print, of your choice. Given choices, not all, everyone wants a figurative, not everyone wants a landscape. But, on a personal basis,
What would that cost you to give away a free print?
$3.
$3? So you give away.
It's a
It
small print,
costs
the
them
value,
more.
the value of the
Costs
print
us
is
that.
$35 when it's being sold. We've been doing it with the chamber for a while.
Is it a physical print?
Yes,
So you still have to mail it to them as
it's
well,
a piece
right?
of art.
Yeah, so you still have to, I'm just trying to find out how,
Yeah,
because there's gonna be cost involved in this and manual labor to actually mail it to somebody too. So you gotta think about that just as or right now, all you're asking for is an email address. And I'm just thinking that could be quite costly, not only money, but time to pack it. But yeah, if you had 300 people today sign up for it, could you physically do that today, in effective time? Do you see what I'm trying to say?
no,
It's not,
no,
well,
we don't understand what you're saying.
okay, so if you had 300 people today sign up for that free gift, you've got now 300 envelopes or whatever bags you have to lick stamps for and write email and write physical addresses on
So maybe.
to send them out.
It's not like we're gonna send 300 of them. Okay, we're saying if there's an event and people come to our event,
Market the event.
there will be a free print for someone who's like a drawing.
For every.
Oh,
So give them
okay.
one, not to anybody who
One,
signs up.
exactly.
Gotcha.
It's
Okay,
just-
good.
It's just
Good.
like
A
a
chance to
raffle,
win.
a raffle ticket.
That's how I understood when I was
The
over
buying
there.
raffle
Oh, yeah,
tickets,
sorry. Okay.
It's
That's
not
right.
like with the
Anyone that
chamber,
wants to
right?
attend
So the
it,
buying
anyone that
raffle
wants
ticket
to
is one person.
Gotcha.
in person.
Perfect.
Same would
Perfect.
go for the shop events, you could use the bride of, giving them a free workshop.
Mhm.
Yes.
And you got our.
That's
Okay, Stephen?
Well, we have a challenge because we're a nonprofit. So it took us quite a while
Did you
to
come?
come up with something. And then I finally referred to Amy, who got going and gave me some.
Will you share?
So, she suggested that if, to the client, free of charge training to grandparents so they can communicate more effectively with their grandchildren
Okay.
Via email,
via email or
Yes.
Facebook or.
yeah, not face to face.
What about this as well? Because you asked me that. I said by the time I get back up there, and it was real close because I was right here. I had no clue. Now I'm okay. I'm on the other side. An idea. What if SCORE offered a free in-business evaluation and then gave a full write-up? Hey, these are the things that you do really well. Here are the things that are missing, and here's these SCORE mentors that can fill that gap in. Boy, wouldn't that be cool? So every time you walk in, you're giving, giving, giving. When you leave, you're giving, giving, giving. They're probably going to say, wow. Now, Wendy would say, you know what? I didn't know these were the holes in my boat that put all these fingers in, and that's why I can only work half the speed. And now these guys can help me. And how much is it going to cost them? Zero. How cool is that? I'd sign up for that. If you said, hey, I'll come physically to your business, I'll evaluate your business, and there'll be two of us probably come in case it gets rough. But we'll go through that. So we'll see it from different eyes, and we'll give you a full evaluation that you will physically hand you and what your next step would be. Well, I do that all day long.
I was gonna say, I've seen it done by one guy in particular that talks about health things, but you offer a few really kind of alarming facts that are a little bit shocking in like 3 bullets, one sentence. And then they're highlighted like a link, and you can link on one of them, and you have to put your email address to get the answer. But what he does with his is health related around food and things you put in your body, and he'll put comments about something that the majority of people on the planet eat, and what it does to the body, and then you have to click read about it. That's interesting. He pulls a lot of people in that way. He sells books that way. For me, with home watching, what I thought about was I'm aware that there's a really significant discount to homeowners that don't have my service on their homeowners insurance.
Oh.
And the wealthy people out here not only insure their house, they insure all their art along with it and the belongings. And their insurance is very expensive. So they might get a 35% discount and not be aware of it. So I could do a couple examples of how much that equates to. Click here, get your email, and then subscribe my service or something, and then offer a free consultation.
I like that. Write this down because I think this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Andrew told me. What if you had the top 5 things that occur to vacant homes for second homeowners?
Right.
Ooh.
Or
Besides
even-
break-in, could be
even
water damage.
Real small, 2 or 3 real small short stories from real people that didn't have the service and what happened to them.
Yeah, but now again, here's your Trojan horse. Let's just use that example. You have 5 things that happen that are common to people who own a second home or vacation home, right? When they're away, you have that, right? So there's the outside of the horse. The inside is click here to find out how you can get up to a 35% discount on your homeowner's insurance. Right? Click here. So they click here, name and email address, and then it takes them to you, and then you give a downloadable PDF that says, hey, from an agent, this is what they offer. So it's not you just saying it, anybody here in a insurance agency? Okay, so say Annie is an insurance agent. She says, yeah, I'll write that down. Great. So now she quotes her. Would that help her get more business too?
Right.
Man, win, win, win.
So on that line, my thought was, if I'm going to send them a lot of business through my email, because they're going to visit my clients, I want their email list in return.
I'd recommend you do this because they're going to say no thank you because you can't talk to my people. But what if you, and this is called cooperative marketing. I did it when I was with La Quinta Resort in PGA West during the downturn in 2008. We grew our email list over 1 million people in a year. 1 million. We didn't have an economic downturn when it came to golf. Here's how you do this. How about you write a referral letter that's a gift from you? She sends it out. She sends it out. She's referring you as someone who does second homeowners. Do you know who your second homeowners are if you take care of their insurance? Yes. You bet you do. So now she refers you, just like you would refer her. Exactly. She kind of washes your back, you wash hers. Right. How many could you do that with?
All kinds of them.
Why wouldn't you go right to the source? Insurance, title companies, those kind of things. Reggie, I'd be writing this down because you'll forget 90% of this. We all do. Write it down. Okay? Next. What'd you come up with?
So I thought for our guests to do vacation property management, just offer a free weekend stay. And then if I could figure out how to target second home or vacation home owners, if I could have them sign up for me to do a complimentary rental analysis of their actual property, then I could, offer them the same thing. They could try it out, see our service, and do a free weekend stay.
Take a title rep to lunch. They know that information, right? Take an insurance agent that works on high-end homes in the vintage or whatever. Take them to lunch. Invite them to a group like this and talk about the benefits they could offer their clients, and you're willing to do this. And it's a two-way street because you're going to have clients that don't have them as insurance agent. Now, obviously, if you had 10 insurance agents in here, it'd be tough to split them up. But you might say, I have a title, I have insurance, I have this, whatever that would be their resources that they would have connection, and they know who the second homeowners are. Does that make sense? Okay, good.
A freebie often and working on my potential clients, because they work online and they work with virtual assistants, they need a very specific documentation, SOPs, standard operating procedures. Online businesses need in particular. And they don't do it. They don't like to do it.
We'll just wing it.
I know. I tell them there's prices and you need someone to step in for you.
Right.
So I'm putting together a guidelines, it will be my freebie on
Excellent.
putting together painlessly SOPs.
I love that.
Actual SOPs.
I love it.
There was a free alarm monitoring, either a couple months or up to a year.
What's the value in that?
Depends which service you have, because it can range anywhere from $20 a month to $60.
Okay, so up to $120 free gift by just doing this? Yeah. Okay, good. I like that. Rebecca?
I put, refer to two businesses that become members and get a free membership.
I like that. Okay. Wendy?
Well, I was just thinking, I would just rephrase how I would get the listing presentation by just saying, offering them, it's a free consultation, and I'll give them with fresh eyes, how to, what they should keep and what they should toss in their home and how they might want to rearrange it. Plus, if I get the listing, they would get the Tour Factory, which is a professional photographer that comes in, makes the professional photographs, and the slideshow with the music that is really great because anyone in the whole world can click on that virtual media link and really get a good feel of what their house is like.
Yeah, would you tell them something like this, and this is a fact, you should write this down if you don't already know this. When you have a video of your home, it increases the traffic to that home by over 400%. 400%. If I were somebody selling my home and you weren't offering a video listing and you were, I have a 400 times percent that she's going to get somebody to my property faster than you are. Who do you think you're going to choose? A or B?
B.
Thank you, B. Is it a hard choice?
No.
They're both good looking. They're both nice. They all have the property. They have their sign up front. She does something different. Okay? Stephen, is this making sense?
I finally got it.
Okay. All right. So, uh-oh. Huh, what happened? That is a pretty picture though, isn't it? Yeah.
Where is that?
That's just, I think that's La Jolla. No, I don't know. I have no idea. But I was there. How many went to La Jolla with me? I was right there.
So Jeff,
Yes.
what's your ethical bribe?
Well, it
Good
depends.
question, Annie.
It depends. As an example, like for our golf industry, we both are golf professionals. So what do golfers use a lot of? Besides patience, golf balls. So guess what? What if we had an ad out there and we ran traffic to the ad to our customer and we're giving away a free dozen golf balls of their choice? Would they sign up? Yes, they would. And guess what? Our client are golfers. Do you think that's a good way to get the ideal client signed up to our group that then we convert over time into being a member of our online online academy? You bet. Simple. How much does it cost for a dozen balls a month?
Free ice down.
There you go. Free. Free. Okay.
I did.
So the next thing is automation. Oh, here it comes. I can feel it moving. Something's flashing around. Automation, because we want to make this so it just happens without thinking about it. We were talking about this earlier. The last thing you want to do is have a physical sign up and then you can't read the names and then you have to input them. How many of you signed up on this? Please, everybody raise your hands so you have to hand it out again.
I did not.
Annie. Now, even if you signed up before, what this does is it helps us segment the list. Here's what happens. We set this up so you sign in. As soon as you sign in, automatically, we like to call it automagically, you're entered into the list. We know now where you came from as far as, hey, you were here in La Quinta. You were here for a workshop. You were here for email. How would that be beneficial, Annie, down the road?
You'd be able to put them in categories.
So if we sent Annie information and she only came to the email marketing, is she interested in blogging? Maybe, but we don't know for sure. But we would send her information about email marketing. Would you be entertaining that and probably opening it?
Yes.
You bet. So that's what we do here, and it happens automatically. It goes right into a filter, or excuse me, right into a funnel, which is what we're talking about, a sales funnel that says, hey, you know what? We got the email. It went in there and gave them the thing that we said that we would give them, whatever our ethical bribe is, and then it goes through this whole process of communicating with them. Now for SCORE, as an example, you come in and we segment you. Are you interested in the newsletter? Everybody gets a newsletter, but are you interested in workshops, becoming a volunteer, getting a mentoring session? and you would check that off, right? Now you're getting information about that. We have it all set up in the background, so we have 2 or 3 months, maybe 6 months out where that's automated. It's just happening. So we can be here, that dude is working. There's probably already an email in your box where there will be about an hour after you leave here that says, thank you for coming. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a service provider you use for that, or is that just something you have built into your website?
Yes and no. Okay. Yes, we do use a service, and there's so many of them out there. And I don't want to say, hey, we support one or the other, but you can do things like we use Infusionsoft just because we use it on a more of a corporate level. So you would use it more for that because it's more robust. There's no limit. You can send out 10,000 emails a day and not taxi it, okay, or tax it. You could use like, gosh, all of a sudden I had MailChimp, Constant Contact, Aweber, and some of these are free. Like MailChimp, you can sign up and if you have under 2,000 names on, it's free. Well, we always said, hey, you could be robust with how many? 500. So you could use that service for free. Now, some of these things would open up some of those other special things, like, hey, I can set up a funnel that goes out, or when we call it funnel, communication chain, if you will, for the next 6 months. You might have to pay, what, $10 a month, Andrew? Yeah, not very much. So these are things that happen, again, automatically, because how many hours a day do you have in your day? This is not a trick question. Yeah.
So.
How many hours a day?
How many days do I work?
No. How many hours in a day are you given?
Everybody else, what everybody else says.
24, right? But how do these people that seem to be everywhere, I guarantee if you went online right this second and you went to LinkedIn or Google+, Andrew is posting right now.
Let's see.
I guarantee you, because he has all this done automatically. Amy does it for us, so she does the same thing on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Google+ automatically. So we can still run our business, not let our business run us. You can still see patients and know that all that other stuff is being handled. Does that make sense? Okay. So these are called autoresponders. Autoresponder is basically this. When I click that thing, it says, I want your free gift that you gave me. When I click it, it sends it to me. Andrew, how many times do you lead people, if you will, to an article, and then your offer is click here for a free download, PDF download of that exact same article?
All the time. All our blog posts, we actually collect names and addresses from people that read something for free on our website. You just read it for free, but we probably collect 3 email addresses a day just by getting them to download that article so they can read it somewhere else.
How cool is that?
They're not getting anything special. They're already reading it for free, and they're still getting us their email address.
Yeah. So do the math. If you did that and it just automatically happened, and you get 3 a day, which is not a lot, but now do the math. What's one sale worth to you? Don't answer, but what's one sale worth to you? And all of a sudden you do that every day. How many days a week?
7.
How many hours a day?
24.
How many of you can stay up 7 days a week, 24 hours a day? Forever. Yeah, if you raise your hand.
Doctor, how can we make that happen?
Even that might be a stumper.
Every time we collect an email address, it's worth $7.06 to me. Right, not that they're buying anything at that point, they're just coming into it, but the amount of sales that we do from our email marketing after that, it equates to $7.06. So every time I see someone download that free report, I'm like, ding, it's $7.06 for me. And that's just from that article alone. We're probably getting 20 or 30 a day.
How good is that? And they're just downloading stuff they just read, but they want to possess it. We like to have things, even though they stack up on our desk and we can't find them later. I'll trade my name and email address for that. Okay, so these are autoresponders. Funnels are just simply, hey, they're coming into this communication link, and now all these things are set up. It may be you know your clients better than we do. Real estate, do you need to email them every week? Probably not. But their return customers and referrals are pretty high. Like, what is it? It's 3.5 years, I think. Every 3.5 years, we're back in the market for a new home.
People say different things.
Yeah.
I've heard 7 years.
Yeah, I like to go 3.5 because it's half that long. No, it's I believe the last one I read was 3.5ff years, which blew me away. 3.5 years. What's that?
I would just be getting settled 3.5 years.
Most of, yeah, I'm not even unpacked with all the boxes in the garage. So that's what the funnel is. Everybody understand what a funnel is? You can't, I'm going to say, it's not impossible. It's very, very difficult. You say, well, I'll just set that in Outlook, or I'll make these emails and every week I'll sit down and I'll send this out, manually. Forget about it. Life will get in your way. Jeff, all of a sudden somebody will call you and say, can you play golf tomorrow morning? And tomorrow morning was supposed to be the day you did it. Yeah, I can play golf. Because there. And then he gets home, I'll get it tomorrow. But tomorrow he's playing golf with Steven because that's his normal day. Next thing you know, a couple weeks go by and he's going, didn't do that, right? So automation. Now, keep in mind, Andrew, how much did you say that was worth to you? Every name?
$7.06.
$7.06. So when you do this, this is what you're creating, gang. You're creating a money tree. I call it an ATM, but it's a money tree. If you had 500 people and they all had access to another 250, how many is that? That's a lot. That's 135,000 potential customers. There's 417,000 people in the desert. You're almost able to get about a fourth of those people that are in your pocket that you communicate with. All of a sudden, Amy, how many times we have a product called Etiquette Moments, and this is for golf, and we just gave these away. We had over 100,000 people a week watching our videos, and now it's back up again because we kind of got away from that, but it's back up again. One of the sorcerers who has 55,000 people in their database said, this is so good for us, can we use it again? So we started doing that again. So immediately it gets an appearance. Amy's walking down the street, or she's at Bermuda Dunes, and somebody walks up to her that she's never seen and says, and she's freaking out like, is this guy okay? I know you. Where do I know you? It's from those videos going out. All of a sudden you become recognizable. When you walk in a room, everybody says, hey, that's Wendy Campbell. Hey, Wendy, they want to know you because you've been on web TV, but you're out there. You're an expert. You're an authority. Okay? So this is your money tree. Figure out how much it's worth and then say, like a good salesperson, when you're out there, you're saying, hey, you know what? How many people do I have to see to make a sale?
25.
25. And then you make, and you have to say this out loud, but you say, okay, and let's just say, for instance, each sale you make is worth $100. Do the math. Every time you shake a hand and somebody says no, $4. $4. And you keep going because maybe it's 10 minutes. Would you do something for 10 minutes for $4? Yeah. This is just simple math. That's motivation sets in. No, they said no again. No, go out and get more money. That's that dollar, that $5 or $100 laying on the concrete. Pick it up and move on. That's your money tree. Now, I want to take just a second to be able now to walk out of here and say, I'm going to take this. I'm going to make it happen. If your notes don't look like this, you won't have to help me. I won't have to help you read it. No, but I'm saying if you have this, these are your notes. This is your guide. All you have to do is follow this. This is stuff that Andrew does. This is stuff that we do.
I'm going to put them all nice and neat, and that way it even gets in my brain even better.
I love it. Automatically. You know what I would do if I were you? I'd go back to this program and just watch it again live over and over until you can actually quote us verbatim. No, not that many times.
Now, by the way, Jeff, I have a question.
Yes.
You mentioned Google Plus. Do you ever go over that? Because I'm not real clear on Google Plus. Do you ever go over that in one of your workshops?
We do. We talk about it when we talk about social media. When we talk about social media, we talk about all those different platforms, really kind of on that 30,000 foot level, but it's an understanding of, hey, is it the right place for me to go find my ideal customer? Is it a place where I communicate, right? Because you can do some things like saying, hey, I need to get on all the social media. And then you're bad at all of them because you can only do a little bit. And ideally, your client may not be hanging out on Twitter, right? And you're spending a lot of time on Twitter. You might say, hey, my ideal client hangs out on LinkedIn because they're B2B, right? So you have to decide, hey, what kind of people comprise that social media? Let me ask you something. If you had 500 names on there, why can't that be your social media platform that no one can take away from you? Nobody can say, hey, I'm going to change the algorithm on your email. So if you send out 1,000 emails or 500 emails, only 2 people see them. Anybody know that's what happened last year in January when Facebook said, you know what, I got stockholders now. Maybe they didn't say that, but they did say, we're changing the game. And he said, you built your business on this platform. You have 10,000 people that are following you that you sent out, and about 80 to 85% of those people got your message. In that quick, gang, that quick, it went to 2 to 5%. We heard it yesterday with a client. They said, you know, we used to put this out, but now the same 12 people out of the 1,000 people they have in their list see it. That's why. Because they want you to pay for that activity, right? So,
Can you say that again, because I sort of missed it?
Wendy, think about the fact that Facebook, that's a rented platform, right? So they're saying, hey, we make the rules. And they make the rules not for your benefit, but for their ideal client benefit. And that means if you were putting out posts and you were offering deals all the time and you had 1,000 people on there, they'd let you see about 80% of those, 85% of those would go to your group, right? And then they 80 to 85% of people getting your message, 2 to 5%. 2 to 5%. That's not worth doing it. That makes sense? But if you have social media, basically your email is social media, how many people are you getting? Is anybody stopped from sending your emails?
No.
No, you own that platform. I'm telling you, gang, this is a lot easier than it is to say, man, I got to be on all those social media sites. That's your networking group. Get that list of 500 as quickly as possible, or wherever you're at, double it where you're at. Right?
And what's good too is with the email, if somebody, they opt out sometimes, and then good. Well, you need more people. But yeah, every so often, you just find out, oh, somebody opted out, which is actually good because,
Yeah, that's an audience. As an example, if somebody got up and walked out of here after I got done crying about it, no, it's just if somebody got up and walked out, it tells me, you know what? It wasn't me, it was the topic, and it wasn't in their interest at the time. How many of you want to go talk to people that are not interested in your product or your service, and you just keep talking about it? They're not interested. Move on. That's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings. We did that with a client just recently that had a really big list, but we found out that not many people were opening their emails, and that affects their rating, if you will, because they're not opening the emails. And when we condensed it down into a workable number, now their email averages, what is it?
88%.
That's incredible, just because we segmented it and we cleaned out all that other stuff. All these people that said they don't want to get on there. Now, we gave them how many times? Was it 10?
6 options.
Six different times we gave them options to come in. So we made sure that we were very, very clear. Are you in or are you out? And then we finally got to the point where we said, they haven't responded yet, they're out. We don't want to keep talking to them. That's like you talking to the wall and wondering why you're not making any sales. Right?
Can I just ask a question?
Yes, sir.
So based on what you're saying, how does over a period of time, I might not be in a market in my life that suddenly make those things important. So if you pare down the list, you're basically eliminating the chance that those people could come back or be exposed to your emails along the way. So how do you view that type of philosophy, because there is, what sticks to the wall type of philosophy and things can change, or there is, I can get a great open rate with a smaller number of subscribers, right?
Okay.
I agree with that because in my industry, a lot of people, I don't need an alarm, I don't need an alarm. Then they get burglarized. What's the first thing at the top of the priority list now? Alarm and locks.
You bet.
It's not really deleting the names from the email, you're segmenting them. You could, the non-active ones you could put on the side and maybe only reach out to them twice a year, less, and with more relevant content.
Yeah.
What's the harm in just sending it out to other people?
Unsubscribe, and then
Yeah. The other thing is, if you keep getting stuff and you're not in the market, there's two schools of thought, Jeff. If I keep sending stuff out and you're not ready now, even if you don't open it, I'm staying top of mind. Okay? But I would rather say, let me spend my effort doing this. Let me talk and give information to my audience that are interested in that. That's why I'm not selling every time. See, I'm giving them valuable information that is relevant to them, so they'll keep opening the emails. See, here's what happens. When you send stuff out that says holiday specials, events, discounts, promoting your list, I'm going to turn you off. But if you're sending me stuff that says, hey, you know what? Here are 3 things as a homeowner you can do to increase the value, or 5 things that happen if you're a part-time resident in the valley that you need to be aware of. Here are things that you should do. Here's the benefits of adding solar systems to your home. And that's the kind of stuff you send me. I'm interested in doing that. I'm a homeowner, right? Now I'm top of mind and you are the expert, right? So I would run my risk of saying, let's clean out the dead wood that's been there since 2006. Let's clear that out and let's put an effort out there to attract more new customers that want to engage with us. These people have not opened an email list since Moses was around. It's time to move on. And that's just an example. And I'd say, you know what? I would rather let that go and get somebody new and fresh in there.
Add to that, sometimes your service provider will look at those figures and say, you know what, you're sending all these emails out and only 10% of the people are opening it. You're obviously not writing good emails, or you've got a non-responsive list. And the other thing is the question was, what's the harm in that? Just keep sending it out to them. If you get unsubscribes, your service provider will say, you've got too many unsubscribes, I'm going to shut you down. I'm going to close you down. And you will find it difficult to move that list to another service provider, because the other service provider will say, why are you moving? So you don't want to have dead wood or unsubscribes in your list. You want to make sure that people are opening your list and not unsubscribing as much as you can, because you're offering good valuable content.
That's it. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to add to that. Well, the way to avoid getting shut down ever, though, is to get something, you know, one of those customer relationship management software like Sharp. You know, I've had that, what do you call it? Spam house after me. And they shut me down for sending out things. That's why I had to finally invest in one of those CRM things. $35 a month for mine. I know they go up to $65 for top producer or whatnot. But yeah, Spam House, and you know, it's like trying to talk to a ghost. You know, I called up Time Warner, this and that. I mean, but eventually they let go of you. Yeah. But still, it's like really weird.
It's brutal, isn't it?
It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
there are certain things when we talk about spamming. There's a Can Spam Act. Okay, and if you're with a service provider like Infusionsoft, AWeber, I know for Infusionsoft, I can't take that off of my emails. And all that basically means is it gives how'd they get my email address? And you're looking down and there's no place that says unsubscribe me. That's spam. They're not going by that Can Spam. Now I can't quote the whole thing. I just know I'm compliant because my service provider does that. It gives me an opportunity to opt out. That's the important part. You want to hit your right on any more of that, or is that's pretty much high level?
You just have to do it. You have to comply. The law says people have to opt in. They have to want to give you their email, and if they don't, then you're on the black hat.
That's it. And that's what goes back to the very first thing. We gave them an ethical bribe to opt in. We call it trade. You know, getting their name and email address. When they put it in there, technically that is their opt-in. They've opted in for you to communicate with them. You've
give them something.
Yeah, you've complied.
Want to give you their email.
Yeah, you've complied. And then when you're sending stuff out, you're complying by making sure they say, hey, I want to unsubscribe or whatever down at the bottom. They have that opportunity. If you miss either one of those, spam cops are after you.
If you
Spam house.
some things, I've been subscribed to several things, and next thing you know, I'm back on them getting the emails again. How is it possible to do that?
Well, some of those are pretty tricky because when you go off one email list, you're on another. You know, they have this series of email lists. That, yeah, you can complain. You had one other point?
No, I do answer my question.
Okay, good. Did you guys like this morning?
Yes.
Did you find it valuable? Like you can go out and take some action with this?
oh yeah.
Good, good. We want to thank you. Also, we have something coming up in the future with SCORE. We have an event. I heard you talking about it earlier, but I want to make sure before we let everybody out, what's going on with that? No, nothing right away?
Yes, on July 20th.
Towards the end of July. One of the
29th, sorry.
July 29th, and it's called what?
Encore Entrepreneurs 50 Plus. And the SBA is coming out here helping people that want to get into business that are out of the 50 age plus. In that respect, there's a lot of people that's moved out here to the desert to retire. If they find they want something to do, keep busy. They start a new company, they do a lot of times they'll do some volunteer work, or sometimes their retirement wasn't that they thought it was going to be, they had to go out and work to make a living. This is to help people in all different options themselves. The SBA is coming out here and doing a big workshop on that be down at the Workforce Center. And save the date is going to be getting information shortly with us on the July 29th event.
Great.
It'll be from 9 o'clock until noon.
Great. Thank you.
And
Huh?
one thing I want to say.
Included here.
Something I want to say also, let me just miss something today. When you go home today or tonight, or anytime before next week, you should go to our website, scorecb.org, go to workshops, go to Mastermind, it says live, and you can listen to this over again. And every week, it changes, so if you can't get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, so you don't want to do, you can watch it at home, or if you're sleeping until 10 o'clock, you can still watch it after that. So it's always available for about a week.
That's it.
In that respect.
Well, we want to thank you all for coming. There's a couple of pieces of information we asked. One is a survey. If you take just a second, this is how we make sure that we're delivering information that is relevant and valuable to you. One of the ways we help filter it out is we only get the ones that are good. So please, if you can't give us at least a 5, just leave it. We'll fill it out later. But make sure to sign and put all your information. No, fill it out. We really want to know. And then also there's another sheet, because somebody asked us the other day, they said, gosh, you know, you guys have been doing this for a while, but who are you? So what we did is we just made a little handout. One side is Andrew's business, Autopilot Your Business. The other side is Swing Point Media, just to give an idea of the things that we do. Because this is not about us. This is about you. So this whole process was delivering valuable content. You can encapsulate this whole message today into an email of how valuable this is, and then there's just a little call to action on the bottom if you want to know more. So I want to thank you all for coming. Give yourself a hand for putting up with it for the last hour.